Hi friends, in this video I'm going to show you how to change colors in crochet. I'm just working on a little swatch and I've been doing double crochets, so I'll first show you how to do this in double crochets, then singles and half doubles. But keep in mind, the rule for changing colors is always the same no matter what stitch or stitch pattern you're doing. The point where you change colors is always the same. I'm also assuming in this video that you know how to do your basic stitches, singles and half doubles and such. So if you need a refresher on that, you can watch my videos on them. Otherwise, let's jump right in. So I'm about to work my last stitch of this row. And this is the point, it's within this last stitch that you change colors. So I'm going to work my last double crochet as usual. Starts with a yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first two, and I'm going to pause here because this is when we change colors. I am about to do my last yarn over, pull up a loop, but that's when we change colors. So leaving those two loops on my hook, I'm going to drop my old color and I'm going to drape my new color over my hook. And the direction that it's draped is important. The short tail should be facing away from you and your working yarn coming from your skein should be facing towards you. So another way to think of it is drape the new yarn back to front. Okay, I'm going to pinch these two tails, my short yarn and my short tail and my working yarn. And I even kind of like to keeping that loop on your hook. I like to kind of set them up on my helper hand as if I were crocheting so that I can then create tension. They're now sitting nice and snug under the nose of my hook, and so I can pinch my work. So I'm pinching right where I usually do when I'm about to yarn over, pull through two. It's right at the base of those two loops. And I'm gonna pull the new color through those two loops as if it were a yarn over. So twist your hook and pull through, pull up a loop. You might notice that your old color, like the loop here in my old color is getting stretched out. It's just because we're not creating tension anymore on this old color, but you can just pull that tail and it'll tighten that a little bit more. So now our new color is our active loop. We've just changed colors and we can continue working our stitches and our rows as usual, but with our new color. So make sure you don't grab your short tail from your new color. Get your working yarn set up over your helper hand and pinch your work, and let's do our turning chains to start our new row. I'm doing double crochets, so I'll do 2 chains to start. Whether you're doing 1 or 3 chains, whatever you usually do for your project, do your turning chains and turn your work. And then you're going to work your next row, your new stitches, your next few stitches in your new color, just like you usually would. So I'm just doing double crochets, insert my hook into the first stitch and move on down. I'm just going to do this last stitch and I'm going to show you why it's so important to change colors when we do. Change colors at that last yarn over, pull through your loops. This loop here that then comes around to the other side of my work, if we hadn't changed colors when we did, this loop would still be my old color and it's clearly part of my new row. So if I had my old color kind of poking up just a little bit here, it's not as neat. So this creates a tidier look. The changing colors of your last yarn over. So let me just undo this and I'm going to go back. I'll show you how to do this in single crochets and then half doubles. So let's pretend that I've been doing single crochets this whole time. And here I am at my last single crochet. I insert my hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, and I'm already at my last yarn over, pull through. So I'm going to drop my old color, drape my new color over my hook, pull those two ends together and let it sit snug in my the nose of my hook, twist my hook and pull up a loop. And then you can create some tension here. We'll talk about what to do with this old color in a minute. And then work your next row as usual. With single crochets, you might just do a chain 1 and then turn, or whatever your pattern is calling for, just do that. And then work your stitches as usual. Now in single crochets, if we hadn't changed colors when we did, this loop here would be my old color too. So again, it just creates a tidier edge with your color change. Let's go back and see how to do this with half doubles, because if you remember, half doubles asks you to do yarn over, pull through 3 as your last yarn over. So start your half double as usual, and here we are at my last yarn over, but it's got to get through all 3 of them. Still got to change colors at this point. Oops. Create some tension and pinch my work, yarn over, pull through all 3. And then work your half doubles in your next row as usual. Sometimes don't forget your turning chains. Usually it's 2 for a half double. Sometimes it's just 1. And then you got to pull through 3. So again, this loop right here would be my old color if I hadn't changed colors at the last yarn over. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to do regular double crochets for this while doing a color change. So I can create, oops, I was just about to mess up. That's all right. So last yarn over, and then drape your new color, get your dexterity on, pull through that new color, tighten whatever loops you need to tighten. So let me work just 2 stitches in my new row, and I'll tell you what you can do with your old color. So pause here. And oops, getting a little loose there because I've been working it so much. So let's say you're doing some kind of like fancy color work. Maybe you're going to just do a couple of stitches in a new color. You're creating, you know, some kind of design within your crochet. You don't have to cut your yarn. You can do what's called a float or a carry through or carry over. If you are just using 2 colors to create striping, maybe like pink, white, then you could carry this yarn along the side of your work so that in a couple of rows, when you're ready to use pink again, it's already sitting there. You can only do this trick if you're going to create a border, so you can then hide that long strand within your stitches. Otherwise, you can cut this yarn, but you want to leave yourself maybe like a 5 or 6 inch tail, because you're going to have to weave in your ends when you're totally finished your project. So you can just cut yourself a little tail and leave these here while you continue doing your project. Feel free to weave them in whenever you want to, or you can just weave them in at the end. But I show you how to weave in ends in another video. But that's it for this video. Happy making!